Okay, let's talk about the USCIS Fee Waiver. It's this incredibly important tool for applicants who are facing financial hurdles, but it's also a process that's just full of potential traps. So today, we're going to really break down the logic behind it. We'll look at who qualifies, why they qualify, and exactly how to build a case that's gonna succeed.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll start with the basic framework of the waiver. Then, we'll dig into the 3 different ways you can prove you're eligible. And finally, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the application itself and, crucially, what happens if things don't go as planned.
All right, first up, let's get to the heart of what this request is all about. Understanding its purpose, and maybe even more importantly, its limits, is absolutely foundational to everything else we're going to talk about.
So, what is this form really? You have to think of it as an argument. Its whole reason for existing is to let you present a documented, evidence-based case that you simply cannot afford to pay the government fees for whatever application you're filing.
And right away, we hit a huge roadblock, a really common mistake people make. This waiver isn't some magic wand you can wave over any form. It specifically does not apply to the main petitions for most family-based green cards. We're talking the I-130 and the I-485. Getting this wrong from the start is a guaranteed dead end. Okay, so let's move on to the first way you can qualify. And honestly, this is the most straightforward route because it basically piggybacks on a financial check that's already been done. The thinking behind this is actually pretty smart, pretty efficient. If some other government agency has already looked at your income and said, yep, you qualify for this means test to benefit, then immigration can essentially just trust that judgment. The financial test has already been passed. And here's where it gets really interesting. A key detail you don't want to miss. You, the applicant, don't have to be the one getting the benefit directly. If someone else in your household, your spouse, your child, is getting something like WIC or food stamps, that can be the basis for your fee waiver. So yeah, the idea is simple, right? But it all comes down to the proof. To make this work, you absolutely need an official, recent letter from the agency giving out the benefit. And that letter has to spell out the type of benefit, who's getting it, and prove that you're currently enrolled. An old letter is a no-go. All right, let's look at the second path. This one's different because it's not about other benefits, it's pure numbers. It's a direct comparison of your household's income to a federal standard. The magic number here is 150%. What it boils down to is this: your total household income has to be at or below 150% of the federal poverty guidelines. It's a clear black and white rule, but everything depends on how you calculate your household size. And that's why figuring out your household size is the absolute first step. The system looks at your most recent tax return as the starting point. That includes you, your spouse, your kids living with you, parents living with you, and anyone else you claimed as a dependent. You have to get this number right. Okay, now this is a really important detail that trips a lot of people up. Your tax return is the main piece of evidence, sure, but what if your life has changed? What if your income has dropped since you filed those taxes? You can't just say it has, you have to prove it. That means a written explanation and hard evidence, like recent pay stubs or a termination letter. So what if you don't get benefits and your income is technically above that 150% line? Well, that's where this third pathway comes in. This is the most subjective route, financial hardship. This path is basically for when life just happens. It's designed to account for those sudden, unexpected events that can turn your finances upside down, even if, on paper, your annual income looks okay. Yeah, we're talking about things like getting hit with huge, unexpected medical bills, suddenly losing your job, or some other emergency that just drains your resources. The key here is that it's an unforeseen event that's created a major financial crisis for you. Okay, if you're going this route, you have to be a storyteller. You need to build a really clear case backed up with documents that connects the dots. The argument can't just be, I had a hard time. It has to be,
this specific thing happened, and because of that, I literally cannot pay this fee right now. All right, let's wrap this up by talking about how you actually submit this thing, and maybe more importantly, what happens if it goes wrong? Because understanding the stakes here is absolutely key. So here's a situation you see all the time. A family is applying together, maybe for a few different things, and they all need a fee waiver. This can actually be pretty risky if you don't handle the paperwork just right. Now, here's a pro tip based on how these things actually work in practice. The instructions might say one waiver form for the whole family packet is fine, but in reality, those applications can get separated. So, to be safe, the best practice is to put a copy of that fee waiver request right on top of each person's application.
Okay, pay close attention to this next part because it's probably the most important consequence to understand. If your fee waiver isn't approved, your application doesn't get denied, it gets rejected. And that is a huge difference. It means the whole process just stops dead in its tracks before it even really starts.
So, what does that rejection really mean for you? It means you lose time, a lot of it. The clock on your application never even started ticking. You've wasted all that time, and now you have to start the entire process all over again. But this time, you have to include the fee.
So when all is said and done, it doesn't matter which of these three paths you take, benefits, income, or hardship. It all boils down to one simple question. What does your documentation truly prove? You might be in a situation that qualifies, but if you can't back it up with clear, solid evidence, the request is going to fail. The quality of your proof? Well, it's everything.